Out of the gates, they have a lot of success very quickly. And it's so easy to think that that's how this works. For most people in this room and in this industry, that's not how it works. I had almost 10 years been exposed to this industry and been exposed to the opportunity. I've always loved it. I've been to conventions, for several companies, and I'd always sat in the audience, and I'd never had life-changing success. For me, when I started as a promoter, I didn't sign up as a promoter thinking, I'm going to be a millionaire with this company. I didn't sign up thinking, I'm going to be a 200K with this company. I didn't even see myself as a 12K when I signed up to be a promoter. When I started building my business, it was with the same mindset. When I started promoting, I thought that I could be home with my kids. That's what I saw as possible for me. I knew other people had had huge success, but for me, I could be home with my kids. And I built my business that way. I built my business based on I can do the things that I'm comfortable with. And the results were I made very little and I didn't fly out of the gates. In the first several weeks of being a promoter, I heard on call several of the speakers that have already shared. I heard their stories. I heard all kinds of people from all different walks of life sharing, I love this product. I won't go a day without it. I gave away free accounts. I shared the pre-recorded call, and I used 3-way calls to get questions answered. And I hit this rank, and I hit this rank, and I hit this rank. And all I could think, hearing all of these different people share, if all of them can do this, then why can't I? What is the lie that I've been telling myself for all these years? Why can't I? The other thing that I heard, I was on call, I was probably 3 to 4 weeks into being a promoter, and I heard Chris Collins. Do you guys know Chris Collins? So he shared a story. He shared that he had an unsupportive spouse. Who has an unsupportive spouse? No, you guys are lying. There is no way there's one person in this room with an unsupportive spouse. He shared that his unsupportive spouse basically had given him an ultimatum. He started building this business, he had a vision for his family, and he started building the business relentlessly, and she said, it's me or this business. And he shared that he chose the business because he had this vision for him and his daughter. And he pursued it with everything he had. He hit 200K, he hit $1 million a month in sales, he went on to become a Lavelle millionaire. And all I could think was, oh my gosh, I am letting so much smaller things than that stop me. Why am I letting these, like he had an ultimatum, complete ultimatum, I am leaving you. And I have a husband that's saying, you have another call to do? Who has a husband that said, you have another call? Yes. What I had to do was make a decision and decide. I have a vision for myself. I can do this. I'm doing this. And so the response became, yes, I have another call. I'm on a mission. Yes, I have another event. I'm on a mission. Here's the question that I have, and I want to talk about 3-way calls. Because 3-way calls, as far as building this business, was the one thing that scared the daylights out of me, and I was not doing 3-way calls. But before that, for all of you, the one person that was honest in the room with an unsupportive spouse, I have a question. Is that unsupportive spouse providing you with the life that you and your children deserve? Why are you waiting for them to do it for you when you can do it for yourself? This is something that is so near and dear to my heart because I feel like there's so many women that stop themselves because they feel like somebody else just doesn't like what they're doing, but the vision that you have inside of you is there for a reason, so chase after it. 3-way calls, they scared me. Oh my gosh, I've been on those calls where someone says, what do I need to do to get you into a package? What do I need to do to get you started? What do I need to do to get you to make a commitment? That's what I was afraid of. I did not want to put my friends and family on a call like that, but once I realized that that's not how we do things, my business exploded. So when I made a decision and I started implementing 3-way calls, 3 weeks later I hit 12K, 5 months later we hit 200K, 20 months then we went $1 million a month in sales. The biggest thing that I can share is make a decision before you walk through those doors. So I want to go to, I I've always loved this industry. I've always thought it was amazing. Who in the world wouldn't love direct sales? But Addie Maloney thought it was a pyramid scheme. I would love for her to share how skeptical she was and why a three-way call changed her way of looking at this.
Okay, who has people that they want to talk to that think that they are in a pyramid scheme? And the word in and of itself makes you cringe. That was me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Samantha, who relentlessly reached out to me. And I think the reason was I came from 20 years in corporate America. I was clawing the corporate ladder, and I thought that was what the right thing to do was. I worked for this little itty bitty Fortune 40 company, rhymes with Schmepsy. And I had a great job. I had a great income, but every night when I went to bed, I was stressed. And I don't even know how many times throughout the night I would wake up stressed. And every morning, it was just this pit of, who do I have to get this to? It was constantly pleasing somebody else, and I wasn't pleased. But again, I didn't know of this world of direct sales. All I thought it was one of those things, and that I didn't want to be a part of that. But I think that Sam knew before I even knew that this is what I needed in my life. So don't be afraid of your chicken list, because I was somebody's chicken list. And there's nothing to be afraid of. You don't know what somebody's life is really like. She saw me as somebody who was successful, had it all together, but that wasn't necessarily the case. I never thought that I would consider the business. It kind of happened by accident, because she told me, if you have 2 people that want to use this product, we can get it for free. Well, of course I do. So of course the first people, my mom, my dad, my sister, all of my ride or dies, that's who I was contacting. And when my ride or dies were loving it, I thought, I want them to get their product for free. So do you see where that duplication comes in? I saw I was getting my product for free. I wanted everybody getting their product for free. Next thing you know, I'm building a little business over here. And I was able to walk away from that corporate position that was fulfilling, but it was keeping me away from my kids, my husband. The people that needed the most of me were getting the least of me. So now, here I am. We work hard. Don't let anybody fool you. You work your butt off if you want to get to the top of the company. The difference is I do it on my terms, and I don't have to worry about, a report that I didn't turn in or who was going to be upset with me. I work my business around my life. I'll tell you, probably the only reason that I'm standing here today is because Samantha was smart enough to put me on a 3-way call with Mike. So smart. Why? We're from 2 different worlds. I had seen her do direct sales, and basically it was this thing where she just wanted to have parties and get out of the house. That wasn't what my idea was. But she got me on a 3-way call. She didn't talk too much. She got me on a 3-way call with Mike, and he started saying some things that made sense to me. Cloud-based business model, who wouldn't want that? He started talking about things that pushed my hot buttons. Not that Sam didn't know those things, but you need to hear it from somebody else. It's called validation. So how many people struggle with getting people on a 3-way call? That's a lot. Mm-hmm. Why? I actually, when I see that, I'm like, oh my gosh, the first thing I wanted to do anytime I talked to somebody was put them on the phone with somebody else. I was like, okay, I don't need to know anything, because I have somebody really smart that can help me with that. Let's talk about some ways to get people on 3-way calls. I think the most important thing that you need to know is don't call it a three-way call. And don't use words like upline. That scares people. I didn't even know what upline meant, so that word would have been a complete turnoff to me. So get people on the phone, and here's another one. Stop telling people to let you know. Let go of let me know. Let it go. Make them commit to a time, or you tell them what time you're going to call, and then you have your upline on the phone, and you edify. That's the next thing that you do. You get your upline on the phone, and you're going to edify both people. So one of the things that people on my team say is, they say, I never get anybody started on the Thrive experience without talking to Addie Maloney. And that's very powerful because they're thinking, I need to talk to this Addie Maloney. What does she have to say? And all I'm saying is what they already know, but I'm providing validation for it. And that's also duplicatable. So that's what we need to be doing. We need to be duplicating, because some people may think, I'm not Kendra, I'm not Jennifer. So we have to show people they don't have to be. All they have to do is know us, and we are going to help them to get to share this product and to change people's lives. Everybody joins because they want to help people. I know that Kelly was also in corporate America. We both had a challenge. Mine was, I didn't want to post on social media. I was afraid what my network would think of me. I was afraid that people would think that I was hokey and what the heck is she doing? She's in MLM now? What's going on? Kelly had a different challenge. She actually was not allowed to even post on social media, so she built her entire business without using Facebook or any social media.
Let me see a show of hands of how many people do use social media to build their business. It's a lot, right? So we were asked to share what our biggest obstacle was, and honestly, you guys, I had to reflect. We all have had tons of obstacles, as many of you have, but in the very beginning, I was in corporate America, and I was not allowed to be public about being a thriver. I wasn't allowed to be public about being part of this business, and that was really difficult. If I look back and I think about it, I would really let it hold me back. But the point of us really sharing our obstacles with you guys is that you all have them. Each person has many obstacles in your life now and in your life in the future. But you have to own your challenge. You have to own your obstacle, and you have to say to yourself as an affirmation, I will overcome that. I didn't allow Facebook, I didn't allow the fact that I couldn't post like other people in the beginning of my business to let it stop me. I decided to make a plan that I was going all in with my heart and my conversations with individual people. And really living, you've heard a lot about living the Thrive life in your everyday, while you're at the ball field, while you're doing those things. So just because I couldn't make a post, I couldn't get celebrated on Facebook when I earned an auto bonus, I didn't let it stop me. And you can't let your obstacle stop you either. Make a plan, be consistent, and you have to stick to it. The only way that your challenge will ever stop you from achieving your goals is if you allow it to. So make the decision while you are here today, sitting in your seat, that you're not going to allow that to happen. You've heard these ladies' businesses get changed about three-way calls. Those are so important. If you're not doing them, make the commitment that you walk away today. How many three-way calls are you going to bring one of your leaders this week? Write it down. How many are you going to do? Make that commitment and then text your upline and tell them. Hold yourself accountable. The other topic that we were asked to share about is productive, busy. Who in here thinks that they are extremely productive every day? Wow, nobody raised their hand. I know, I really believe, a lot of my team have heard me say this over and over. I truly believe there are two types of people, and I've been both of these. One that really works this business in the nooks and crannies of your day. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here. You have a full-time job. People are building this business on the side of their full-time jobs. You have kids. People are busy, but guess what? We all have 24 hours in the day. How productive are you when you're giving that time? So you've got that person who is working in the nooks and crannies of your day. You have that other person who has all the time in the world, right? They just don't know how to break down their time. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of calendar blocking, have heard of really setting up your time specifically to work your business. So here's an example that I'll use to help you decide which type of person you are. Do you scroll Facebook, or do you have Facebook on your calendar of when you're going to post, when you're going to go, and specifically, comment on leaders, connect with your new future thrivers? So think about that stuff. Look yourself in the mirror and figure out which person you are. I've experienced in both, and it's a challenge every day that I commit to setting myself up for success. Know what your income producing activities are. Make sure you commit to doing those on your calendar every single week. Scrolling Facebook isn't one of those. Also, the other thing I wanted to share is really treating this. My friend Amber told me from the very beginning, we have a brand new pair of running shoes every single day. Are you choosing to lace them up and put them on your feet, or are they going to sit there beside your bed? It's your choice. Your leaders are willing to lace them up with you, but you have to choose whether you're going to do that. So, one more question. Have you guys ever heard anybody say, or have you said, I'm too busy? Anybody too busy? Well, I want to tell you about Jennifer, because Jennifer, she was too busy. So someone would think when they looked at her life, she already had 2 successful businesses. So Jennifer, share with us a little bit about your story.
So they asked us to share what was the biggest thing we had to overcome, and for me, being too busy was definitely one of them. So I certainly roll my eyes every time somebody says, oh, I'm too busy to do what you do. I just don't have time, because I'm like, seriously? You don't even know what that means. So for me, I had 2 brick and mortars businesses, 3 little kids. I was at 80 plus hours at work every week. And I tell people, if I can do it, you can certainly do it. For me, the mindset changed where I realized I needed to figure out how I was going to make it all work. I got the big picture. I was missing so much in my kids' lives, and I quickly figured out that there was a better way. I didn't have to do it that way, and I wanted it bad. Once I figured out the opportunity that this business and Lavelle brought for me and my family, I wanted it real bad. And so I had to figure out how to take an overflowing plate and just turn it into a bigger plate. How did I do that? You have to get you have to get super organized. I had to be super organized. I had to be intentional, purposeful actions every day. And like Kelly said, time blocking, I use calendar blocking like a boss. I literally had highlighted colored blocks in my calendar of what I was gonna do and how I was gonna run my life. So definitely setting aside specific, consistent time every day to work your Lavelle business, and I did it 7 days a week. Like I was on a mission, like Kendra said, on a mission. One of our great leaders in this industry says that what it takes to be successful in this business is really easy to do, but it's also really easy to not do it. So you gotta make sure that you're setting that goal of what you want to accomplish in that time, because it's easy, but it's really easy to just skip it for the day. I'm also big on failing to plan is planning to fail. So make sure you set your goals, make sure you stay focused, put your head down, and don't look up until you've reached that goal, because that's what's gonna get you there. So we are so blessed, in my opinion, to be sitting here today. Last year, it was a very last-minute decision for me to go to Dallas. It was my first convention, and it changed me. That's where I got that new mindset, and I got that great vision of what this business and what this company could do for me and my family. So it had such an impact on my life and my business, and I know Jacqueline down there has a great story on how, if you want to share, how it has impacted your life.
So we were asked to share what we had overcome in order to become successful. and immediately, like, I started sweating, just like I am right now. And I was actually sitting in the very same seat that all of you are sitting in. And I was listening to Amy Purdy speak. And does everyone who remembers listening to Amy? Really amazing. And I had been faced with a lot of obstacles throughout my life, and even while I was a promoter. And she said up there on stage, you have to turn your obstacles into opportunities. And these beautiful women right here encouraged me to share some of these obstacles just in case I could touch one of you out there. So, sorry. I was raised in a broken home. I was sexually assaulted as a child. I went on to lose my father in college. A year later, my grandmother passed away of a sudden onset illness. I got married. I birthed my first child, which was my dream, always to be a mom and to be a stay-at-home mom. And my husband and I had to make the choice to take her off life support.
Oh my God.
And then from there, I had to watch my brother nearly kill himself with drugs, overdosing twice. Thank God, though, he is clean 1 year. My mother was placed in jail, and then we lost the matriarch of our family, my nanny. So through all these obstacles, and the reason why I share this with you isn't because I want you to feel sorry for me. If I can do it, so can you. And I was at 40K, 80K for a very long time, guys. A lot of these women here, of course, as you've seen them share. I've been in this now 3 years. This is my 3-year Thrive anniversary this month. And the point of this is you are the creator of your own destiny. Only you can determine what you're going to do with your life. I could have used those obstacles and made them excuses. I could have stopped. I wanted to quit so many times. But I was surrounded by some of the most positive, uplifting people in company. I mean, I'm just truly, truly thankful for each and every one of you, and I'm just so blessed. I'm an owner to another business. I'm an occupational therapist. And I also have 3 small children, beautiful, healthy children, thank God. My dream and vision in life was always to, as you know, I'm an occupational therapist, was to help others live the quality of life they deserve. Hence, it's truly amazing. I'm a Lavelle brand promoter now, and I can still do the same thing and stay home with my kids. My mom worked 3 jobs to raise us, and I never ever wanted to have to do that. I wanted to be independent, so I went on to get my master's degree in occupational therapy. But again, my dream was to be a stay-at-home mom. 3 years ago, I was laying on the couch, that tired, exhausted, worn-out mom, scrolling through Facebook like I'm sure many of you did, when I saw my friend post her sticker on Facebook and we used the word energy. I was very skeptical, especially being in the medical profession. I was like, there's no way, and I'm not the type that ever like tried a lot of things. So I reached out to her and she sent me the sample. And I tell you this, you guys, because I was not a day 1 thriver. It took me 9 days. I actually felt like crap before I felt better. So when they talk about sampling earlier, believe me, I have a love-hate with those too. But you guys, you have to find what works for you. And just remember, faith over fear. So I want everyone to take a minute, close your eyes. When I say the word busy, what sort of image pops into your mind? A chicken with her head cut off, running around, frantic, stressed out, overwhelmed? That was me. Okay, now close your eyes again. Now tell yourself that you're productive. Now what picture pops into your head? Strength, determination, doing what matters, you being in control of your business. I bet a smile just went across your face. So when I decided to stop being busy and start being productive is when the game changed for me. When I was in Dallas last year, sitting there, and they were supposed to launch the Duo, I thought for sure I would hit 200K, and then they didn't. However, I went back to that hotel room that night and started working. At the end of the month, my husband and I both hit 200K within 1 hour of each other. Wow. I was determined. So a couple other things I just want to leave you with and what my upline have taught me. Work smarter, not harder. You know, being productive and not scrolling through Facebook all day is huge. Whatever works for you. What worked for me as a 4K does not work for me now as a 200K. Whether it's time blocking, index cards, calendar scheduling. And just remember, behind every successful woman is a tribe of other successful women or people who have their back. So I just want to say thank you to my downline. I appreciate you and my upline for everything.